Yeah, so we can see that these are quotes that go from shorter, small to large relatively. You do have some bigger quotes that are more fragments that are maybe operating at the level of a page, page and a half, and then it ends with uh, smaller quotes like you saw at the beginning there. Okay, so what are these? What are these quotes? Okay, so they are distilled from Intellectual Heritage 1 and Intellectual Heritage 2. So if you took Intellectual Heritage 1, you might recognize some of these quotes. And, um, and then some of these quotes are from texts that we will read. And then there's other quotes that are not from texts that we read, but are part of the whole sort of idea of general education and intellectual heritage. Okay, so they run the gamut. They're meant to sort of speak to all sort of philosophical and political persuasions. These quotes. Okay. Now, the idea of using a quote to begin the class, why are we doing that? So we're using quotes, the fragments, they're aphorisms. Okay, so the idea here is that we don't need to read a whole text, okay, in order to access our thinking and our philosophizing or politicizing, okay? So the traditional view is that the traditional liberal humanistic view, I should say, is that you should read a whole text, and by reading the whole text, then you have control of what you're reading. You have completed the reading, and therefore it is at your beck and call to do with it what you want, to apply it, and to use it as a tool for thinking. The issue is that reading is we live, I would say, more or less in a type of post-reading culture where we really don't have the time to read difficult texts in full. And even if we do read them in full, oftentimes the problem is paralysis when you put so much energy into reading a text, into completing a text, that oftentimes there's just nothing left in your head for thinking. You're summarizing things, you're reporting things, you're figuring out the storyline, the concepts, the characters, all that stuff, right? So the idea is to, instead of trying to read the whole text, that we read quotes or parts of the text, chapters, excerpts, etc., and then that's a much easier way to proceed.